Alright, so what do you get when Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder are shooting the last few weeks of Blazing Saddles and Gene Wilder pitches a Frankenstein movie over a cup of coffee? Well, you get Young Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, sorry. So Young Frankenstein is a 1974 comedy directed by Mel Brooks, starring Gene Wilder as the grandson of the famous Dr. Victor Frankenstein, Terry Garr as his assistant Inga, and Marty Feldman as Igor, or Igor, which actually fits better because of Marty Feldman's eyes. It's also co-written by both Brooks and Wilder, and it was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay. So yeah, this movie had been on my watch list for a while now. I finally picked up the Blu-ray and gave it a watch, and safe to say, the movie was a great time. I really enjoyed it and thought the comedy worked well throughout the entire movie, and it genuinely made me laugh. Basically, it's about Dr. Frederick Frankenstein, who's played by Gene Wilder, and this guy is totally ashamed of his grandfather's past experiments and his mad scientist legacy, to the point where he tells everyone his last name is pronounced Frankenstein and not Frankenstein. So, he's basically doing anything he can to distance himself from his grandfather's past. That is until he inherits his grandfather's old castle, goes to Europe to check it out, finds his grandfather's book on how to reanimate corpses, and it really picks up from there. And yes, the book he finds is literally called How I Did It by Victor Frankenstein, which reminded me of the Treehouse of Horror episode where Mr. Burns is a vampire and has a book called Yes, I Am a Vampire by Monty Burns. Anyways, this launches us on the comedic journey with good old Fred Frankenstein, Inga, and Igor, who are determined to bring the monster to life. And yeah, of course it doesn't go smoothly, but the three of them get the, as described by Frederick Frankenstein, 7.5 foot long, 54-inch wide gorilla up and running. The monster is played by Peter Boyle, who actually also plays Scott Calvin's boss in the Santa Claus, if you weren't aware. Anyways, sprinkled throughout the process are just such funny moments. There are great comedic scenes, recurring jokes and callbacks, and even a song and dance performance starring Gene Wilder and the monster. And everything is just emphasized and elevated by the great performances from the entire cast, and in particular Gene Wilder himself. I have to say though, I think my favorite scenes are when Gene Wilder just does something like this.
You filthy, rotten, yellow son of a bitch!
Or like this.
Son of a bitch bastard, I'll get you for this!
And like this.
Do not open this door! Let me out of here, get me the hell out of here!
And yeah, I love that by the end of the movie, Gene Wilder's character ends up having a great arc, and he can finally scream,
My name is Frankenstein!
Yep, he accepts who he is and is proud to call himself a Frankenstein and not a Frankenstein. And yeah, to cap it off, I just wanted to mention that this movie is shot really well by the cinematographer Gerald Hirschfeld. It's in black and white to replicate the feel of the original Frankenstein movie from 1931, and I read that a lot of the lab equipment used is also from the original movie, which I thought was really cool. Or this really cool scene where Gene Wilder is shrouded in fog and it's lit so well, and you just eerily hear footsteps until Igor shows up, which was actually kind of off-putting. Overall, I give Young Frankenstein a solid 4 stars, and I'll definitely be adding Blazing Saddles to my watch list. And of course, happy birthday to the late great Gene Wilder, who was born on June 11th, 1933. Thanks for watching, and feel free to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on Young Frankenstein in the comments.